What is going on, hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub. This is K-Dub's High Five, 5 rapid fire questions with your favorite hobby faces. And today we bring in the Double J, Justin Jefferson, super collector of Twitter, also a fellow Skull brother, my good friend Bazay at JJetscards18 on Twitter. And then are you on any other socials?
I'm on all of them.
Okay,
All of them.
same at as well.
Yep. Twitter, Instagram, eBay. I want to say probably the same on TikTok, but I don't really use it very often.
Okay.
And then my whole name on Facebook.
All right, well, there we go. JJetscards18 is what you guys are looking for on the socials. So how this works, man, I got 5 questions, all hobby related. Ready to take on the high five?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, man, I see the wall behind you. I got to know, because I don't know, how did Justin Jefferson become your dude, man? How did he become the guy that you chased when it comes to cardboard?
So it kind of goes back to between my father and I. We haven't really had the most things in common, but the Vikings was always like the one thing that him and I always shared. So it's always been very near and dear to my heart. And it just so happened that I got back into the hobby when he started to blow up. And you know what? I just jumped on the wave and started collecting them.
That's it, man.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, and does
your love for the Vikings and, you know, a stud rookie.
Yeah, and does your dad know of your obsession about JJ? I mean, has he seen the
Pretty much everybody in my family knows, so at this point.
Oh, well, I got to give your dad props, man, because my dad is the reason that I'm a Vikings fan as well. When I was in 4th grade, all my buddies were getting their team jackets, their starter coats, and for Christmas, he gave me a purple Vikings jacket, and it's been disappointment ever since. But likewise, man, it's something that my dad and I share, and we talk after every Vikings game during the season, so it's pretty special.
Yeah. Very frustrating.
Well, absolutely frustrating, but it's pretty special when you can, you know, have that thing to go back to every year with your dad, for sure.
Almost definitely.
So let's talk about collecting sports cards for you. You said when you got back into it, kind of when you think about your collecting journey, kind of who would you credit as some of kind of the influences, the people who kind of got you into sports cards?
So there was one person specifically that I remember popping up on my Twitter algorithm. So I give props to the Twitter algorithm. But his name was Certified Sports Cards.
Okay.
I saw some of his stuff popping up on my timeline, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I grew up not with sports cards, but with Pokemon. Okay. So Pokemon from, I want to say maybe 9 to 12, 13, 14, around that time. And that is where my love for cards in general, collecting, grew. Well, I jumped into one of his breaks, and I hit a Herbert. It was just a base card, but at that time, Herbert base cards were going for like $200 to $300. Yeah. And so like it was like, you know, spark went off in my brain, and I was like, you know, I want to start doing this more often. Yeah. So after that, it was just a pretty long grind of finding out what I really liked. But that I would say be the number one person who kind of showed me, got me back into it, and kind of was my somewhat motivation.
All right, man. Certified Sports Cards on Twitter?
Yes.
All right, man. Well, that's the guy, man. Shout out Certified Sports Cards. Well, thank you for bringing my man into the hobby, man. It's a beautiful thing. So, all right, man. 3rd question. I see the wall behind you. Mm-hmm. I know I got some grails probably sitting on your wall right now. But when it comes to your grail card for you, you know, the card that you want, or you always wanted, what card is it and why?
So it's pretty hard to pick. Like you said, I mean, there's just so much. But I would say the one that is the nearest and dearest to my heart would be the 101 green Justin Jefferson Kaboom. Not only did, like, I mean, I don't think that would ever be a card that I would be able to acquire myself, like using money. And I hit it in a break with Wisconsin breaks. Wisconsin, that's what it is. Yes, Wisconsin breaks. Yeah. And I just remember being in the living room with my son when I hit it, and we were just jumping around the living room going crazy. It was definitely a special moment.
For sure. And is that one behind you right now?
It is actually over here. I can grab it. Let me see.
Okay, all right, man. We got to flash this up for the high five. That's for sure.
Yeah, I should have done that prior.
No, it's all good, man. I remember when it hit and you posted it on Twitter though, now that you're telling the story of it. So
Let's see if we get the light on it.
boom. There it is right
1-on-1
there.
kaboom. Yeah, it was amazing.
Man. And cards with the story, man. That's what it's all about right there. I mean, you
Yep.
didn't have to go out and get it. You didn't have to go out and buy it. I mean, you got it in a break, and it's just a beautiful thing, man. It's the beauty of the hobby. So right on, man. Well, let's talk about the product. You said you kind of got back in the hobby right as Jefferson was getting hot. So I'm guessing like 2020, 21, 22. As you think about product, you can rip any product you want, all the money in the world. What product would you rip and why?
It's very tough, very tough. Just because I know the opportunity to miss in products, it's very, very hard to, pick one out. If I had the choice, I would skip the product completely and just go straight and buy the card that I want. But if I had to pick, I would say probably either 2020 Flawless or National Treasures. Just
Okay.
trying to hunt one of those, 1-on-1 shields or something along those lines for JJ. But then again, you got Herbert, Joe Burrow,
Sure.
Tua, Jalen Hurts, so there's plenty of opportunities to hit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with a product like Flawless. I mean, National Treasures, I think there can be a hit and miss, but Flawless is just such a beautiful product. I mean, such a good product.
Exactly.
So, all right, man. Final question here as we get into it. You are the Justin Jefferson super collector, man. But I know there's a lot of people maybe just getting in the hobby or starting the hobby. They fall in love with a player. They like a player. Kind of what advice would you give to someone who's just kind of starting out trying to chase one player for their collection? Like, how did you go about your Justin Jefferson pursuit when you first got started?
So it started off with me kind of just going like, I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but like balls to the walls. Like I literally bought everything I could think of that had Justin Jefferson on it. So, and that is one like period of my collecting that I kind of regret, just because I didn't have an idea of which sets I really liked until maybe I want to say not a year, but close to a year in of collecting. So I picked up a lot of things that I wasn't very fond of, like down the road. So I would say if you were jumping into collecting a specific player, find those sets that you really like. So for me, it's the select in the back over here, Prism, and then Optic Rated Rookies. Those are my sets. All the Chrome sets, the shiny, the stuff that pops. That's the stuff I like.
For sure.
Paper products, don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, so you would say, just kind of as advice to start with the product rather than maybe the player itself. I mean, pick your player, but then go out and find out the product that you like best with the player that you're collecting.
Exactly. Instead of just spending money all over the place, find that set that you want, start that rainbow, and see where you can go from there.
Yeah. So you're an optic guy, you're a prism guy, and you're a select guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
All the Chrome products.
All the shiny products, man. That's right up my alley right there. Them shiny products. Well, hey, if you're checking this out, I'm always interested in people's collection. So please, in the comments, drop the player you're chasing. And as my man said here, like focus on what product you like best. What card look do you like best? And then chase those players. But I want to know, drop in the comments who you are collecting these days. So, all right, man. It's very rare that I get a Vikings fan on here. So I got one more bonus question for you, and all the Packers fans are going to shut this off right now. But do you feel like the Vikings have the pieces right now to go to the Super Bowl?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I still think we need. I'll say this first. I am a Kirk Cousins believer.
Let's go.
Believe it or not, my wife is anti Kirk Cousins, but I believe in Kirk Cousins. I think he has what it takes. The biggest issues for the Vikings right now, offensive line, I think there's still a couple missing pieces there. You got O'Neal and you got Darisaw on the sides. Those two are studs.
Yeah.
Bradbury, he's a little small for the center. And then you got, is it Elfline? No. Who is it? I'm thinking of the other guard. Both of the guards are pretty much liabilities, I would say. And then on the defensive side, Brian Flores coming in. I'm excited to see what he does with the defense, but definitely needs to be fixed. If we can get a middle of the pack defense with our offense, that's all we need. That's I think we'll be a Super Bowl contender team, because as long as we've had Kirk Cousins, haven't had a defense, haven't had a solid defense. So put all that together and we have the recipe for it. I'm hoping this year we can pull it off. One last thing we need is, I think, a wide receiver too, since Thielen's gone. Hopefully someone in the draft.
You don't think KJ?
KJ Osborne, I like him. I do like KJ Osborne. I just don't think that he has the it to be like a solid number 2, because he struggled to even be, you know, a number 3 behind Thielen. Even when Thielen was lost a step last year, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, it's the off season for us, man. So we're always Super Bowl contenders in the off season. So
yes,
let's go skull up. So hey, man, we cleared it. So let's high five, throw it up, high five at the end, high five, boom. You can check my man Bazay out on all socials at JJetsCards18. I know you from Twitter, but it sounds like you do it all anywhere and everywhere.
I'm all over the place. International star.
Also, please make sure check out his JJ's posts on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, on all other socials, my man's collection is absolutely amazing. If you are bored, subscribe to the channel. It's always appreciated when folks smash that sub button. And I'm also on Twitter at Mr. K-Dub. Shout out to our high five endorsers this year: Rack of the Day, Eric Hecker, and Buck City Breaks. Appreciate you joining me, man. It's always good to have a fellow Skull brother on here who shared in the pain a little bit. But hopefully this is our year, man. So thanks for joining me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time on the next high five.
Peace.